Good morning. I hope I'm live. A huge thank you to Kerry Grace and Russell Pell for inviting me to do the 10 at 10 this Tuesday morning. My name is Stephanie Sims and my business is Yuko Ono. It's a ukulele business and I'm based in sunny Sawtell on Gumbaynggirr country. So that was question one. That was my first question, my name, company and location. Moving on to question two. How many years have I been in business? Well, I started Yuko Ono in 2016 and prior to that I had a business in Sydney, SRS Consulting, where I worked between the corporate sector and the not-for-profit sectors, so helping not-for-profits raise money for their businesses and projects and helping the corporates spend their money more strategically. I moved up to Coffs Harbour about 13 and a half years ago, and I worked with Alison Page to found Saltwater Freshwater Arts Alliance, and recently with Dave Horsley and Kate Howard from Screenwave to found the company Film Outreach Australia. But it's actually only been this year that I have worked solely on Yuko Ono without having a second or a third or a fourth job. Right, next question is, what is your preference for marketing your business and why? Facebook, LinkedIn, Instagram or other? Well, for me, my preference is definitely Facebook. My market is predominantly female. I have lots of mums, so I suppose around the 30 plus mark, and plenty of women like myself aged over 50. So Facebook is a really great way to find my people. I also take advantage of the Facebook groups as a way to communicate to different levels of my ukulele players. So I find that really helpful marketing wise, a great place to engage with people. And for me and my business, even though I teach the ukulele, it is all about connection and community. I've also had to take my jams online. So once a month, we used to meet at 63 First Avenue on a Saturday afternoon in Sawtell. Joel used to open up especially for us crazy ukulele players, and we'd jam there on a Saturday afternoon. So I'm now doing that through Facebook Live, streaming the jams once a month. In fact, there's one this Saturday if anyone's interested, 1:30, Yuko Ono Facebook page. Look, I really have limited time, so I do kind of tend to focus my marketing in one particular area. And as I said, I understand Facebook and Instagram and LinkedIn aren't really my markets at the moment. I'm also not adverse to putting up the odd flyer to promote events and workshops like in local cafes, etc. And I do a weekly newsletter, which is really important because a lot of my people aren't on Facebook, so they really appreciate that newsletter for the connection. Next question, number 4, what has been your biggest business disaster and how did you turn it around? Well, I'm glad to say I haven't really had a business disaster yet, touch wood, but as a sole trader where I am the product, I did find pre-COVID that I was starting to burn out a little. I was getting a little bit stretched too thin, you know, starting different groups really to suit individuals' needs as opposed to looking after myself. So for me, COVID has meant taking a bit of a step back and taking a deep breath and really re-evaluating how I move forward because, you know, one person can only be stretched so far. I had made quite a significant investment in my website late last year, and I did that to really give my members a better experience. So it's actually been relatively easy for me to make the necessary adjustments to take my classes and groups onto Zoom. So I've gone from delivering 13 different groups from, you know, kids right through to seniors to just 3 groups on Zoom and a few privates. In fact, I just picked up my first client from New York City, which I'm very happy about. That's question 4. Question 5, what are your most important business tools? Well, for me, it's definitely my website. Sam from Bad Hat Harry did my original branding and website back in 2016, which I love. And Denise from Creative Social Solutions did the big revamp. which really reflects my business today. Because when I started in 2016, putting up a flyer in Sawtell, who wants to meet the CWA Hall and form a ukulele group, I had no idea what my business would look like today. It's actually been quite an organic process up until recently. So my website is built on a WordPress platform, and Denise has added WooCommerce, so people can now book their courses and classes and groups and sessions all through my website. And she's also got a membership plugin, so everything, all the video tutorials I do and sheet music is all password protected and different levels of membership. So that's really enabled me to be able to move through these COVID times. And I'm actually planning to do some online courses as well, so the website's well set up for that. Prior to that, I'd have some material on Facebook groups, and I'd have, things on Dropbox for people to access, but now everything is in the one place. So that would definitely be my most important business tool. The other thing about the website is that it's all integrated with YouTube and MailChimp and Dropbox, so it's all in the one place. The thing I'm really happy about is that I don't have to spend thousands of dollars now to go online, because I already had made that investment. Right, question 6, what is my most prized business system? Well, again, it really is the website for me. But before that, MailChimp has been really important, and I still am on the free level, but that will probably have to change soon. But MailChimp's just been great, just getting those weekly newsletters out and keeping up with my customers. And Dropbox has always been really helpful, and I do pay for that. And I also love Xero. I go through quality accounting with that, but that's been very helpful, particularly with JobKeeper and things coming up. So small investments, but great value. Number 7, I'm just checking time, 10:07, going okay. What is your preference, running a small or large organisation? Well, I've never run a large organisation. In fact, I've only ever really worked for a large organisation once in Sydney. I worked for Perpetual Trustees for quite a short period of time. So definitely small. And I have to say, in roles I've had in organisations where I've had to manage staff, it has probably been my least favourite thing to do. So I like to keep it small and simple. Question 8, how do you maintain your work-life balance? Well, I've never been particularly good at this one, but I am determined to change that. Running a small business where you're the face, obviously it's very demanding, and I joke that if my daughter didn't go off to boarding school in year 10, I would never have been able to get Yuko Ono to where it is, and she's in year 12 now, still at boarding school. But yeah, I do focus a lot on my business. So I live right on the beach here in Sawtell, which is fantastic. So I get up early every morning and I'm on the beach for a walk and a swim still. Can you believe it? Winter and I'm still swimming. It's fantastic. Because I find as soon as I'm on my computer, I am hooked in, whether it's my emails or Facebook, my to-do list. So it's really important for me to get up early and get onto that before I start. I also do see a chiropractor once every 3 weeks for maintenance, because I've got a sore back and shoulders, probably from computer work and playing the ukulele. But yeah, look, I think I've probably got another 15 years of work in me, so I really do need to look after myself. And the other thing, I'm in the joy industry. I absolutely love what I do. And I always find it doesn't matter which group I'm teaching, they're always my favourite group at that very minute, and they truly are. So I've got nothing to complain about, but if I'm run down and ragged, I'm not going to be able to spread that joy. Question 9, what is the most important thing to do when managing a team? Well, I don't have any employees, but I absolutely have a team. Denise, my social media and website guru, is my right hand, and at the moment the wonderful Michelle Booth is my left hand, and she's running some groups for me, and during COVID has been collaborating with me, getting songs together and tutorials together for students. So I also have a Brains Trust, which are an inner group of ukulele players who I bring in from time to time to help me with feedback, etc. But I think the most important thing in managing a team is to be very clear with your brief and your vision, because what I find is I'm a bit of a control freak. I think I know how things will work best, And what I found time and time again is if I give the brief and let them come up with the solutions, they're 100 times better than what I could come up with. So that would be my advice there. And question 10 at 10:10, what is the most important piece of business advice I've received in running a successful business? Well, I think for me it was from Michael E. Gerber. He didn't personally give it to me. He wrote a book called The E-Myth, which is the entrepreneurial myth. And in that book he talks about working on your business and not just in your business. And I'm a bit of a mechanic, you know, I'm a bit of a doer. So that's been really important to take that step back and look at how the business is going as a whole rather than running yourself ragged, doing all the tasks and not seeing the bigger picture. So my time is up. It is 10 past 10 this Tuesday morning. Thanks for listening, and I think we can stay on now for some questions if you like. So thanks again, and I will see you later. I'll just now turn off.